today?
No,
How did you feel?
I felt pretty good overall. Obviously, gotta watch the film to really like recap like good and bad and that sort of thing. But overall, I felt better about my performance. We just got to string together a couple things more on the offensive side of the ball, finish some drives in the end zone instead of settling for 3 all the time. But there's a lot of things to clean up. But I'm glad there are things to clean up.
Do you think you're in a rhythm? You, not just you. I mean, the offense in general. Do you think it's in a rhythm? And if it isn't, why do you think that is so far?
I think we go in spurts. Like I think we started the game really hot. Obviously, going down and scoring a touchdown on the opening drive is what you always want to do. But sometimes the rhythm kind of gets out of sync because you kind of like the times that we were out of rhythm today. I felt like we hurt ourselves more than anything. Like I think it's just eliminating the bad ball aspect of it, whether it be missed assignments, missed reads, or whatever the case is on any particular play. It's just eliminating those little things, and then I think if we did do those things and limit those things, like it would just flow better throughout the game, if that makes sense.
What do you think you have to do to make the rhythm from your 2-minute offense carry over to more drives throughout a game?
That's a fair question. I think we're really good at just 2-minute and tempo in general because I think it's just plays that we know how to run like the back of our hand, that sort of thing. But I think there's at times where we are in rhythm when it's not in those situations. Like to start the game, for example, I thought we came out and played really well, went down, run game and pass game looked really good that first drive. And I think it's just about, again, I know I just said it, but like eliminating the unforced errors, and I think that stuff will help us carry over into more rhythm throughout the game.
So is the bye at a good time for you and for the offense in general?
I guess I don't know how to really answer that because honestly we just do whatever's on the schedule, whether we gotta go on the road, go or come play here, or if we do have a bye week. I think the biggest thing for us is having the right mindset going into the bye week of it's a work week and it's a work week to get better at and find different things in our individual games to get better at and really hone in on our craft, and also collectively as an offense reflecting over the last 3 games of the season to start the season and just seeing the things that we've done well and see the things we got to fix.
Drew, you're 0 for 5 passing on 3rd down. What kind of played into those struggles, do you think?
I think we just didn't execute. Like I thought there was opportunities that we had, whether I missed a throw or not. I mean, there wasn't anything crazy. We just didn't execute. And sometimes, unfortunately, it just falls that way. But I have confidence that we'll bounce back because I know the type of like team we have, offensive line wise and receiver wise. We'll come down with like the tighter contested catches more times than not. So I'm really excited about just being able to kind of reflect on that and really just work on it throughout the bye week and the following week as well.
Would you say there's a similar thing there to why there's been some issues scoring touchdowns in the red zone throughout the first 3 games?
It's similar in terms of what?
Just like, is there like, what would you jot that down to?
Like why we're not scoring touchdowns? I think it's just a combination of self-inflicting wounds. There's a couple times where they kind of got in on some pressures because I kind of messed up the protection for the O-line and a 5-man pro. So there was just stuff that we can fix better as players and go out and execute better that will help us just, like you said, like score more touchdowns rather than settling for field goals.
Do you think you're doing a good enough job going through your reads? Or do you feel like you're getting stuck on your first read a bunch?
No, I think I'm getting through my reads pretty good. I think Coach K does a great job of, for me making it easy and getting the ball out on the first read, just because the first read is designed to be open, obviously, and the more times that you can get the ball out of your hand in your first or second read, the better, just because obviously going backside protection takes a little bit of a hit because it's just taking longer. But no, I think I'm going through my progressions fine.
Drew, has the season for you, and do you feel like you've gotten better?
No, I've been focused on the 3 games that we've been playing.
As a senior leader, what will be your message these next 2 weeks to the offense and maybe even to the entire team?
I think offensive specifically, it's just about going into this bye week, focusing on ourselves, both as an offensive unit collectively and individually, and just seeing the things that we have done well. Because I think we've done a lot of good things throughout the first week, first 3 weeks, but there's some things we definitely got to clean up. And I know the frustrating part about it is we know we have things to clean up, but the best part about it is they're all very correctable. And I think, I'd rather have stuff being pop up in the first 3 weeks of the year and not being perfect, so to say, because then like you still got things to get better at. There's still things to build off of. So I think we're at a good point as an offense. Now it's just about going into this week, getting better, and then the next game just carrying everything that we've been doing throughout the first 3 weeks and building off of it.
How big was that drive at the end of the first half for you guys?
It was big because I think it was 13-0 at that point. So to be able to go up and score a touchdown, obviously put it at 19 and then go for 2 and make it a 3-possession game was huge. I thought that was one of the better drives of the day. I think that drive and the first drive of the game in general were probably our 2 best drives just because of how in rhythm we were and the plays we were calling. Coach K did a great job with the opening script and then getting us in the right plays in that last drive of the half. And I think it was cool to see Trevor get in on the end zone too. Like, it was a great route because we had ran that concept, I think, the 2 drives before, and we talked about it on the sideline, and it was fun to go out and kind of execute that.
I think the non-conference plays is having an effect on your psyche because it seems like the bigger the game for you, the more you play. So you think because of the non-conference play that subconsciously that it's not driving you to be your like correct those little smaller things. I'm not saying
you're saying like based on the opponent.
Based on the opponent, that, like in your mind, like subconsciously or unconsciously.
For me personally, I don't care who we're playing or where we're playing. It's another opportunity to go out and play football, especially at a place like Penn State and in front of Beaver Stadium. Right. I think the biggest thing is not taking these moments for granted and obviously overlooking anybody, because one thing about football, we're only guaranteed 12 games in the regular season, and obviously you have to earn everything after that. So we're only down to 9 more now. So like there's not many games left. There's not many games left in Beaver Stadium in general, especially for like us as seniors. Like there's only a handful of games left in Beaver Stadium. So now it's about taking every opportunity that we have to go out and play a game and just going out and playing and having fun with it. I think that's one thing for me, like reflecting on like the first 3 weeks of the season. I think week 1 and week today, like I was having fun and not pressing anything. I think last week it was a little bit of a combination of that and being more on the pressing side of things, which kind of affected my game. And I was glad that happened because I was able to go out there and really fix it today. And when things didn't go right, I knew we had no blink on the sideline, so that was really cool to see.
How important is a bye week like this where you have 3 weeks of tape but you're able to kind of really look at yourselves this week? Yeah,
it's really important because you can kind of see tendencies that you have as an offense, whether it be play calling or just anything in general, tips and tells that we've given off as players that can give away run pass and that sort of thing. So I think it's really cool to have this opportunity to kind of reflect on ourselves early in the season and really just find ways to get better and improve on offense. And I think we're going to do a good job of that because we have a great staff, both offensively and defensively. And I think we're going to make the corrections necessary that we need to make.
How big of an impact do you think Trevor has had on this offense?
I mean, big impact. I don't know how many carries today he had, but he had a decent amount of carries, and obviously he did really good in the pass game today. He's very, very versatile. Like I just said, he run the ball and run routes in open space, and I think when you get the ball in his hands, he can do special things with it just because of that kind of running back background he kind of has. And it's really cool to see all his work from the summer pay off, and that whole receiver room has done a great job for these first 3 weeks, and I'm really excited to keep building off of it and really just air it out.
What have you seen out of Luke Reynolds so far this year? You led the team today with 74 yards. What have you seen from year 1 to year 2? How's it progressed?
I think in the position he plays, just his body in general, like he's added weight. Obviously, he's a athletic freak in general, like the way he jumps and the speed he has at that size, and his catch radius in general. Like he took that hit on the sideline today and held on to the ball. That was big time for him. And then obviously he made some plays after the catch too. Like you don't see a lot of tight ends do that across the country. We're fortunate enough to have a lot of tight ends that are able to do that, but specifically with Luke, that's a big part of his game. And I think he's really gotten a lot better in the run game, and I think that's one thing that's very hard for tight ends to come in at a young age and play early, because the run game is so stressful for them with all the communication that goes on up front, and then also like just the people that are having to block D tackles and D ends and that sort of thing. So he's done a really good job, and we have a great tight end coach with Coach Howell, and he does a great job with all of our tight ends.
Typically, you want to have guys get the ball to your best playmakers, but you got to know where they like the ball, right, and how they get it. When you mentioned Trevor with the carries and that kind of stuff, how much have you learned about the guys and some of the new guys in these 3 games? You know what I mean, about getting them a Luke or somebody that you know, in the spots that they want the ball and they can have the most success.
I think it really started over the summer, just being able to sit down and obviously have all the routes on air and fall camp that we did throughout the summer physically, but mentally sitting down in the film room and just watching film with them, whether it be our practices, just route concepts from the NFL, and just talking through like how they see things, how I see things, and I think that just allows you to get on the same page and that sort of thing. And you know, like you said, every receiver is different. Like maybe one receiver would prefer a back shoulder ball in a certain position, and maybe one's just like, no, I want to be able to go track the ball down the field. And I think those conversations have helped us out in the pass game through the first 3 weeks, and really excited to just again keep building off our pass game.
Drew, you guys went up tempo quite a bit today. Do you have a preference on the pace of the offense, and how does that help you get in rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like obviously, I think whatever works for us as an offense is what we're going to do, and I'm all for that. Like if it's tempo all game, I'm 100% in on that. If that's slowing the ball or slowing the game down and running the ball all game, I'm good with that too. Really, the biggest thing for me is, you know, coming away at the end of the game with a win. But specifically, I love when we mix it in, tempo in general, because I think Coach K and the offensive staff does a great job of sequencing plays for us, and we know what to expect as players when a certain play call is called, and then Coach K alerting me for tempo after the plays. I think we do a great job of that, and I think it's, you know, paid off because we can really get into some funky formations and make it hard for defenses to really adapt to it, whether it be unbalanced or all that other stuff that we do creatively to put stress on the defense. And when you're hitting it at that sort of tempo, it's very hard for defenses to communicate. So I think, you know, it's part of our identity, and we're going to keep building off that.